primary goal of OBD system is to reduce vehicle emissions and reduce the possibility of future emission increases by detecting and reporting system malfunctions. So that's actually the primary goal of the OBD2 systems. Now, OBD2 are actually more standardized compared to OBD1. And we know that there are different models of vehicles. Any Toyota, any Honda, any Kia. So different vehicles different models of vehicles are in town now. So what differentiates OBD2 and OBD1 is that while OBD2 they present the codes in such a way that they are standard, they are well standardized. That is, the code you find on a Honda Accord car is the same code that you are going to find on, when you troubleshoot your vehicle, and let's say you're able to get a code of, let's say, P0122. That's actually a code. So these codes normally have interpretations. So once you interpret your P0111 code on a Honda Accord car, when you get your Toyota Camry car, that same code, the interpretation for a Honda is the same interpretation if you are going to have on your Toyota. So that's actually the basic difference between your OBD2 and then your OBD1. It is more standardized, but we have different manufacturers. So initially when you talk about OBD1, the manufacturers have the codes in such a way that if you have your Honda Accord car and then your Toyota car, the interpretation on the Accord car will be, let's say you have a particular code, and the same code on another car is going to be different interpretation. So due to development, OBD2 has been able to help us in such a way that they produce these codes in very good standard, such a way that it's much more easier to interpret. So Tawari àwọn OBD2 cars, our present cars, àwọn Tawati fẹ́ lo codes wọn, Tawati codes OBD2 ó better than ti OBD1 torí Tawati lo OBD2 àwọn lè ka codes in such a way that the codes are more organized, more standardized. So
yes, sir. Please, what's the meaning of the OBD?
OBD actually means onboard diagnostics. Onboard diagnostics. O for on, B for board, and then D for diagnostics. So they actually also have the same diagnostic connector with our OBD1 system. The OBD2 and the OBD1, they have the same diagnostic connector. There is what we call the DLC. The DLC is the data link connector. So that's where you connect your OBD2 system through. Your OBD1 also has the data link connector, which is the DLC. The OBD2 also has the DLC, but the applications actually differ. In OBD1 systems, we have the location where they are basically located mainly inside the engines. You find them in the engine, but your OBD2 system, you find them under your steering column. That's where you find it. You open your driver's seat. Under the steering column, that's where you basically find your data link connector for the OBD2 systems. Now, OBD2 system, as I've said earlier on, differs from OBD1 because we're able to get these codes in 4 modules. The BBCU modules. That's the powertrain, the chassis, the body, and then the network communication. So the powertrain basically is talking about your engine and then your gearbox. While the body talks about the body parts, talking about your radio, your air condition within the vehicle. While your chassis under the vehicle, that's it deals with let's say the shock absorber systems, your exhaust systems, they are all what we find under your chassis. While the network communication deals with the wiring, it's just the wiring inside the vehicle. So as we all know, the vehicles we have now are much more complex, are more electrical and computerized based. Unlike before that, it's just more of mechanical aspects. So now, these codes, once we scan your vehicle, we have these codes in PPCU format. So once you have a P code, it means you've been able to scan your car. You've been able to scan your car, and it means the fault it's talking about is your powertrain, and then it means you are talking about a fault that is actually from the engine or from the gearbox. That's for a powertrain. Once you just scan, use your diagnostic tool, your scan tool, and it gives a big code. It means the fault you are talking about is from your what? Is from your engine or from the gearbox. Now, they actually always have representation. So the first digit is the first. Now the second digit, when you have a second code, when you have a code, and then the second digit is normally 0 or 1. It's constantly 0 or 1. And it's just like it's on the back when we have this 0. When it is OBD2 mandated that it has to be 0. After that, I'll show some codes, so which I'll use to explain it better. But for now, when you have both the second digit, it is normally either 0 or 1. So once it's 0, it is mandated by OBD2. Talking about standard, mandated by OBD2 that it's going to be 0. But once it is 1, then you know that it is specifically by the manufacturer. We have different manufacturers of motor vehicles. So 1 is there to indicate that it's specified by the manufacturer. But the third digit, as I said, you can have P0111. So P is the first digit, 0 is the second digit. So that 0, as I said, is talking about OBD mandated, or 1, which is manufacturer. Now the third digit, which is the what? Subgroup, powertrain subgroup. It's talking about, we have about 8 of them. So once you scan your vehicle, and then it's showing, let's say P01. That's the first digit. It's saying P01. That one there is saying that your fault is from your fuel and air engine. It talks about your fuel and air engine. Actually, these 8, they are all what you can find on our automobile systems. Your fuel parts, the ignition system parts, your emission parts, emission, what talk about emission in the exhaust control, your PCM, and then your transmission. So once you scan a vehicle, and the code shows P0700. That third digit there is actually 7, and you know that you are talking about your transmission. So once you scan, it also gives the price P0823. That 8 there, that's the third digit. It's actually, it's talking about your transmission. So it can be chassis. So you can have another code. Let's say you have C123. Now that C, you know that we are talking about chassis. That one, you know they are talking about manufacturer specific. And then that two, you know that it's from actually your fuel and air engine. So the third digit actually tells us where the fault comes from. That's what the third digit basically tells. So once you have your C122, you know that you are talking about chassis. That's the one. The second one, which is talking about manufacturer specific. And then number 2 is talking about where you find the fault, which is actually in the fuel and metering systems. So same thing, it is P062. You know that you're talking of what? Fault from the what? Power control module. That's what the PCM they actually means. You're talking about fault from the power control module. So while the fourth and fifth digits define the area or components and the basic problem. So now let's go into some other examples. So initially I was giving those codes for fun. After those codes exist, you understand? But now these are more practical examples. Now when you scan your vehicle, and your vehicle should give you P0100. The literature behind P0100 code is mass or volume air flow circuit. circuit malfunction wiring. That's MAP or VAF sensor. So it means your P010, your P is indicated that the code is actually a power play. Your 0 is actually indicated like this. It is mandated by OBD2. While your 1 is showing that the port is actually from the mass or air metering code. That, as I said earlier on the first slide, fuel and air metering code. So now that is it. While the literature behind it is mass or volume air flow. So now what happens is that on this particular, with this particular code, if you go to any other variable, your other board, if it gives this particular code, if you go to Toyota, this is the same code, it's the same interpretation. So now let's jump down to P0, before P is for 100, 101, and then now P0200, P0200, P0201, that's injector circuit open stage. That's injector circuit open cylinder 1, circuit malfunction, cylinder 4 misfire. So we can also have P0300. So P0300 is actually random or multiple misfire. That's the P0300. So but P0300 is actually specifying what cylinder. You know, as I said earlier, the fourth and the fifth digits will tell us the area or the component where those four come from. So this cylinder, 4 here, which is the fourth digit, is actually telling us that it is actually on cylinder 1 that we actually have that particular port. On cylinder 4, sorry. It means that the port is on cylinder 4. But actually the code brought out P0301. It means the port is cylinder 1. So that one there is indicating that it is that area for the components where you can get your port. So now P0419, that is secondary air injection system control B circuit wiring, AIR pump relay. So now this AIR is talking about the exact component. You can see that the fourth digit there is 9. So that's the component. That is where it is the AIR pump relay that is actually having the port. So now the same thing with these ones. P05, P0505, and then P0506. So you see that it's not 5, we have 5. So, but when we come here, we see that 5 is actually talking about your IO speed control. That will be 50 on the third digits. Once you have 5, it's talking about your IO speed control. So, and now you can see that it's actually related. We have P0505, that's the IO air control system. Throttle motor, and then throttle valve. We all know where we find this on our vehicles. Your throttle motor is what has replaced our carburetor, our present vehicles of carburetor. That's what the throttle motor before we use carburetor. So now the fifth, as I said, this 5 there is actually indicating that it's on the throttle valve. That's the exact component where we find it. So I do here control system, and then your P06 is actually talking about your PCM, ECM, TCM, internal temperature sensor circuit. So that P06 there is talking about codes from that. The 6 there is talking about PCM and auxiliary inputs. So the third one, which is 6 there, that's still talking about the PCM. And then we now go down to P070, P070, P0731. So once you see your P0700, you know I'm talking about the transmission. So on all them, so that's the basic advantage we have in our OBD2 systems. And actually, as time goes on, we now have the OBD3. But we are actually in the era of our OBD2 system presently. The first thing is to interview the customer. The customer will have told you what are the complaints keys of that in the car first. Then the next thing is you check the MI alerts. Because our car business, our MI, which is the malfunction indicator light. So you check it, if it's there, then you know that the vehicle is actually due for scanning. But if it's not there, and the person is actually complaining of course, you know that it's possible that the MIL light, the bulb, has been removed, has been tempered with by some people that we don't